presenting Darryl Cooper's MARTYRMADE Enemy, We Are the World, episode 1.
The massive British and French artillery bombardments in Flanders, in Artois, and on the Somme. During the heavier Allied bombardments, German troops in the line companies entirely evacuated the deep fighting trenches, seeking relative safety in deeper dugouts off and around the trenches. During those critical and almost insanely dangerous periods, Hitler and other dispatch runners would commonly be moving through and around these empty fighting and communication trenches, delivering orders from regiments. Tellingly, the German fighting trenches contained niches cut at various intervals into their deep, steep sides for the specific use of runners forced to deliver the epistles under such dangerous circumstances while the line combat troops sheltered in dugouts. End quote. Hitler's new regimental commander finally got around to pushing his citation recommendation up the chain of command. He was recommended for the Iron Cross First Class, which were given out only to honor acts of exceptional courage. But since he was assigned to the regimental staff by this point, his name was put at the bottom of the list of recommendees. It was a common practice to avoid looking like HQ was showing favoritism toward its own. And so he was instead awarded the Iron Cross Second Class. It made no difference to him. He wrote back to his friend in Munich that this was the happiest day of his life. Soon after, he would be promoted to corporal. Hitler very quickly earned the universal respect of his leaders and the soldiers with whom he served. It says something that they held him in such high regard, despite virtually all of them considering him to be a pretty weird guy. Several of the men who knew him at the time remarked that his military bearing was lacking. Now, he wore his helmet askew, he slouched rather than keep the erect posture expected of a soldier. His facial hair was frequently out of regs. He almost never shined his boots. He hated that. His mates found him socially awkward, but they still liked him. His seriousness was impenetrable. He had no interest at all in typical soldier small talk. You could not engage him in that kind of a conversation. He didn't play dice. He didn't play cards with the other men. When the other soldiers were spending their downtime joking or playing games, Hitler was invariably by himself in some corner, painting or drawing or reading a book. He was not a conversationalist. Again, he just couldn't feign interest in small talk. And these all echo impressions of people who knew him before the war. It's just who he was. John Toland, what I think is the best biography of Hitler that's been written, says, quote, "As long as his comrades talked of food or women, Hitler kept to his reading and painting. But once the conversation turned to serious subjects, he would stop and deliver a lecture. His simple comrades were entranced by his fluency and loved to hear him spout on art, architecture, and the like. His reputation as an intellectual was enhanced by the fact that he...
Goyim, you are under a slow drip process.
He carried several in his pack, including a well-worn copy of Schopenhauer's philosophical tome, The World as Will and Representation. Despite his lectures on the evils of smoking and drinking, Addy, as he was known, was generally liked because of his reliability in a crisis. He never abandoned a wounded comrade or pretended to be sick when it came time for a perilous mission. Moreover, he was a good companion during the long, tedious stretches awaiting action. Being an artist actually drew him closer to his barracks mates. He would draw cartoon sketches on postcards, illustrating comical moments of their life. Once, for instance, a man shot a rabbit to take home on leave, but left with a parcel containing a brick which someone had exchanged for the animal. Hitler the victim of the prank a postcard with two sketches, one of the soldier unwrapping a brick back home, and the other of his friends at the front eating the rabbit.